Tonight on Junior MasterChef Australia.
Are you ready?
A masterclass in kitchen fun.
Are you guys ready to cook again?
Yes!
Guest chef Stephanie Alexander makes skewered meatballs with magnificent seasonal produce.
Whew, smells like walking into a rose garden.
Anna prepares a spicy Thai duck curry.
Do you know the difference between a red curry, a green curry and a yellow curry?
The colours.
And George whips up a delightful granita dessert.
Fresh ingredients, easy to make, absolutely spectacular.
Hey kids, come in.
Hey guys, how you going?
Good, Chef.
Welcome to Junior Masterclass, and it's great to have you guys here from Bondi Primary School. Now, I heard that you love to cook and you love food, but I also heard that you guys have a Stephanie Alexander kitchen garden program at your school.
Yes.
That is so cool.
The kitchen garden program, you get to actually design your own garden, don't you? Design, plant, nurture it as it grows, harvest it, and then cook it. What kind of things have you made?
Soups, salads, and pizzas. Well, healthy ones, of course.
It must be so much more satisfying when you've grown it and then you eat it.
Yes. Yes.
Now, because you guys are part of the kitchen garden program, we've got a little surprise for you guys today. We're bringing in a special, special guest. She's the First Lady of Australian Food, and she is Stephanie Alexander.
Hello, everybody. Well, what smiley faces.
Stephanie Alexander, these are the kids from Bondi Primary School.
Wow, fantastic. Our demonstration school for New South Wales.
There you go. Well, the first part of today's Junior Masterclass is a cook-along. So that means we demonstrate and you guys cook at the same time. Loads of fun. Stephanie, you're doing the first dish. What's it going to be?
It's going to be skewered meatballs on lovely flatbread with a carrot salad and some spinach yoghurt.
Stephanie, that dish sounds brilliant. A dish that I guess needs fresh ingredients.
Absolutely.
So, guys, you ready to go and pick some fresh ingredients?
Yes!
Fantastic. Let's go.
Let's go.
Have fun out there.
Well, looks lovely, doesn't it?
It does.
This must remind you of being back at school.
Yes. Yes.
As you know from Stephanie Alexander's kitchen garden program from school, great dishes need great fresh ingredients.
And we've got lots of great fresh ingredients here, staring at us.
That's exactly right, Stephanie.
Well, we've got to pick some stuff for our dish today, and I think one of the first things we need is the carrots. Can you see something there with a feathery top?
Yeah, it's right there.
That's it. Would you like to pull a carrot?
Of course, when you're picking a carrot from the garden like this, you know that it's really fresh and beautiful, and whilst it might need a bit of a rinse, I'm happy to chomp it.
Oh,
The gardener's treat. When you pull it out of the garden, you're always allowed to have a taste.
fair enough. Right, what's next?
I think we need to get the lemon.
Let's head over to the lemon tree.
You can get the lemon for me, Evan.
How long does it take for a lemon to grow?
Oh, lemons can be very old. I've got a lemon tree in my garden that's probably been there for 50 years, but you can get fruit from a lemon tree from quite a small tree. Probably in its first year, you'll get lemons, so it's a good thing to grow. Perhaps we'll go to the rosemary because we're going to put food onto a skewer made out of a piece of rosemary. So you need to cut it quite low down so you get maximum stalk and a good solid cut.
Well done.
Fantastic. Now, Maya and Cameron, perhaps some coriander.
Delicious.
We could all have a go at. Now, you know that coriander, we use the leaves, but we also use the stems. And sometimes we pull up a whole plant and use the root of it. I think the next thing's some flat leaf parsley. Can never have enough parsley. How about I put the basket there and you all pick a little bit of flat leaf parsley. That's it. Well, I think we've got what we need, George.
Brilliant.
We're ready to start cooking, I think.
Love to. Come on, guys, we'll head back in the kitchen. Let's go. Right, guys, everything you need's at your benches, so let's get cracking.
Great, and I'm with the kids, so I'm going to go and join them.
Have fun.
Any questions or help you need, just ask me. I'm right here.
Stephanie, so what are we cooking today?
We're cooking skewered meatballs on lovely flat bread with a carrot salad and some spinach yogurt.
Sounds delicious. What's the first step?
First step is to make the flatbread because it needs to rest.
Okay, brilliant.
So I need the food processor. That's what I need.
Grab that.
So what I've got here, 250 grams of plain flour, a tablespoon of chopped rosemary, a good pinch of salt, and you're going to measure into your water 1 tablespoon of olive oil and then a half a tablespoon, which is actually 2 teaspoons. It's a very simple dough. So we're going to give this a whirl. That's just to...
Incorporate that rosemary.
That's just to mix the rosemary through the flour. And then, with the motor running, we're going to add the liquid down the chute of the food processor.
Right, guys, I think everyone should start getting their flour into the food processor and follow pretty much what Stephanie's done.
Can we put the salt in there also?
Maybe I'll go and give some of them a hand.
Pinch of salt.
Your flour goes in here with your rosemary.
Yep, wonderful.
Pardon me, Stephanie. Was it a tablespoon or a teaspoon?
1.5 tablespoons. So it's 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons.
Okay.
Great, well, you're ready to put the lid on.
Good boy. Now you can start pouring that in slowly. Right. Fantastic. Stephanie, everyone's blended. We're up to you now.
Fantastic. OK, lid off. Dough out and give it just a very quick knead on the bench. So this is just to bring all those elements together so you've got a nice smooth dough. And that's really all we need. And then it can go into a bowl. And I'm just covering that so that the dough doesn't dry, because it's often quite hot in a kitchen. And so that's just going to be put somewhere to relax and rest for 30 minutes.
Fantastic. You guys look like you've done this before.
Yeah, we made pasta.
Great. Well, I reckon we're ready for the next step.
Well, the next step is going to be starting the actual meatball mixture. And the first thing we're going to do is roast spices. So the first spice I'm going to roast is the cumin. Now, you have to keep a watch on it because it does burn quite easily. You've got a wooden spoon there, so you can just keep it moving. And you should be able to smell a beautiful, beautiful smell coming from that.
Oh, smell that. It's releasing all the oils.
The reason we're toasting these spices is because as they warm up, they release beautiful oils that add fragrance to all the dishes that you cook with them. I think that's smelling pretty good. So that one's going into the mortar and pestle. You don't need to wash the pan or anything. Straight back on, and the coriander goes in.
Coriander into the same pan.
It's inclined to pop, this one, as it gets hot.
I reckon you can just shake them, you know.
And again, we're waiting till we can smell it to know that it's actually started to release all its beautiful, beautiful flavour.
You can smell those natural oils just popping out as you're toasting them.
Quite a few of the flavours in this dish are faintly Middle Eastern, I think we could say.
Can you smell that? Those natural oils coming out? Good boy.
I can smell that. So I'm going to add this one to the mortar with the other one.
Well done.
So then you got the pestle, and you use a combination of letting it drop onto the spices to start cracking them, and then you start grinding it against the sides.
Excellent. And do it like you mean it.
And then as you're doing that, it should start to smell absolutely wonderful.
Can you smell all that beautiful fragrance in the air? It smells absolutely gorgeous. How fine do you want that, Stephanie?
I think this should be reasonably fine,
Yep.
because it doesn't sort of pick up much in the food processor. I think what I've got there is about right. I'll just add the teaspoonful of salt into there. Give it a bit of a crumble. In with the paprika, the teaspoonful of paprika. So now I've got all the spices in the mortar. What we've got to do now is roughly chop some parsley and some coriander. So very roughly chopped coriander. This is a whole bunch, but we're aiming for around about 2 tablespoons of chopped coriander and about 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley.
Okay, so they look really alike, but the best way of telling, if you can't tell by sight, is smelling. Give it a little crunch so it releases some smell. That smells just like parsley.
Yeah.
And then fresh coriander, smell that. It's beautiful, really aromatic. It's one of my favourite herbs. Be very careful of your fingers.
I'm going to drop my coriander straight into the food processor, and then I'll just get a couple of tablespoons of parsley, and that's a very rough quantity. It wouldn't matter if you had a bit more.
All right, pop your parsley in here, buddy.
Do I just put it in there?
Yep, all into there, buddy.
There's 500 grams here of minced beef. There's half an onion, again, quite roughly chopped.
Okay, that meat and the onion, yeah, follow Stephanie and then you can't go wrong.
And we're going to put some lemon zest straight into this mixture. These lemons smell beautiful.
Keep turning it around. You just want the skin of the lemon because once you get into the pith, it's quite bitter.
Yep.
Stephanie, what's next?
So we're now going to add our spice mixture to everything that's in here. And then it gets a good going over, so we have a lot of noise. This really needs to be blended really well, so it's a very soft, pasty mixture, so it will easily go around the rosemary. Now, I've taken the mince out of the food processor, and you can see how nice and pasty it is, which is exactly what we want. So that's great. And the next thing I have to do is to take these lovely pieces of rosemary. Remember, we picked wonderful pieces of rosemary from the garden. So we're going to leave a bit of the rosemary on the top, and then we carefully pull the rest of the rosemary off the stalk. And that's going to be our skewer, like that. Isn't that beautiful?
So all that flavour from that skewer is going to go into the meat as well.
It is, and you can imagine that if you were doing this on the barbecue at home, it would be wonderful. There'll be just lots of wonderful smells. Got a pastry brush. Just going to lightly brush the skewers themselves. This is hopefully means that when you're going to eat this skewer, the meat's going to slip off reasonably easily. So you take a portion of this in your hands, put the skewer in the middle like that and squash it really hard. You want a nice, even sort of sausage of mince.
Can I have a go?
Yeah.
You might want to work that down the stick a little bit more, otherwise the stick might burn.
Lovely. You're doing a very fine job. Yours is best, Jules. These are ready now, so I'm going to put these aside and I'm going to start making the 2 salads.
Stephanie, what's the next step?
I'm going to make the carrot salad, which is very, very simple. Grated carrot.
Maybe I'll go and give some of them a hand.
When you're making a carrot salad, you can really add almost any herbs you like. So I've got a little bit of coriander here. If you've got parsley, that's wonderful. And on other times, I've sometimes made it with mint. So it's really very versatile. So I'm going to add in the pistachio nuts, 2 tablespoons of pistachio nuts, approximately, very approximate measures here. The chopped herbs, there's 2 tablespoons of chopped herbs there.
Okay, you can pop that straight into your salad.
2 tablespoons of sultanas, if you like sultanas, or sometimes currants is nice. A little pinch of salt. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil and lemon juice. This should be quite lemony, this salad. And I used the whole of my half lemon. And the pièce de résistance, a couple of drops only of rose water, because it's very strong. Ooh! Smells like walking into a rose garden. So here we have the finished carrot salad.
It's important to taste this. Let's taste it.
So now we're going to put the spinach into the yoghurt to make a lovely accompaniment to our skewers. That's about 200 mils of plain yoghurt. This is cooked, roughly chopped spinach. You've all got some of that. Just stir your spinach into your yoghurt. And again, you probably add a little salt and pepper, and that will be finished.
Spinach into your yoghurt, yum.
So some salt.
Salt and pepper. You just crack on both sides. It does salt and pepper.
I would say that was all right. set the yogurt aside with our carrot salad for when we're going to serve.
Nice.
Delicious.
Now I'm going to roll out the flatbread, and you only need a little piece, and you scatter a little extra flour on your bench, and the aim is to roll it as thinly as you possibly can, and at the same time you heat up your frying pan. You will need a little extra flour to stop it sticking. Really need to lean into those. That's the way. I can see some energy being used there. That's fantastic. So you can see that that's really quite thin. Pop it on the board and do another one.
Got to keep up with Stephanie Alexander. How about that?
Now I'm going to fry these in a nice hot pan.
With oil?
No oil.
No oil.
If you've got one ready, you can stick your second one in. But yeah. Okay, pop it in.
See how this one's starting to bubble?
Did you say that's ready?
That's looking lovely. See how it's starting to puff up?
I'm going to bring across my skewers, brush them lightly with a little bit of olive oil and put them into this ridged grill pan. And remember, this could be done at home on the barbecue. I would think that they will take 4 minutes each side. And the flatbreads, once they get that lovely burnt sort of look, we call it done. And I'll just brush the top of them with a little bit of butter.
Oh, thank you. I'll just cook another one.
It really brings out all the colour, doesn't it? And will make it taste really yummy too.
Brush them with melted butter.
With this? Just both sides or one side?
Yeah, both sides. Yours will look really good, man.
Thank you.
Going to turn the skewers now, carefully. See how they get that beautiful little charred look? Smell good, don't they? So they're still cooking, but I'm going to get the rest of the plate ready to go with our 2 salads and the flatbread.
Right, do you want to start plating up like Stephanie?
Okay.
And carrots, so dip.
They are looking so scrumdiddlyumptious. I want to eat one.
Pop that on there.
If you want it thoroughly cooked right through, you need to feel it, and it shouldn't have much give in it. I actually quite like eating this sort of skewer when it's still a bit pink, and that's really a matter of personal taste.
Where do you want them? Just there?
Okay.
Fantastic. How good does that look?
I'd be very happy if I was served this at a restaurant for lunch. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
And there we go. We have skewered meatballs on rosemary skewers with beautiful flatbread, carrot salad and a yogurt and spinach dip.
Delicious. Well done, guys. Big round of applause. Well done. Well, guys, what are you waiting for? It's time to tuck in and taste what you've just created. Come on, get into it. Dig in, use your fingers.
Well done, everybody. Don't forget the flatbread and the yogurt and
Dip
the
it
carrot.
into the yogurt.
That's the way. Yeah, very good.
Oh, look at that. I really want one of them.
I think
There
you
you
might
go.
be Greek.
Yeah.
Give that a go. Big bite. How was it?
Good.
Yeah? You a fan?
Very good.
Good stuff. Well done. First dish in the MasterChef kitchen. Congratulations.
My 3 top tips for this dish. When you're making the meat mixture, really get it soft and pasty. So don't take it out of the food processor too soon or it will fall apart on the grill. With the flatbread, thin as you can roll it, because then it really bubbles beautifully and isn't sort of doughy. With the salad, taste, and decide whether you want more lemon, more oil, more pistachio. There's no perfect recipe for them.
Stephanie, you prove it once again. Fresh ingredients, simply cooked, so tasty and so healthy.
Absolutely.
Beautiful dish.
It's a good dish.
It's a beautiful
I'm
dish.
pleased. I'm pleased.
So next up on Junior Masterclass, I'm going to show you how to make my favourite dish, and that's red curry of duck with lychees and a cucumber salsa.
Anna, what's the first step with this beautiful dish?
Well, it's a red curry of duck, so we have to make our own red curry paste. Who likes chilies? OK, we'll have 2 happy customers. I won't make it too hot. There is a few tricks in still getting that red colour of the paste and not having to add so many chilies. In Thailand, they would add about 20 chilies to one batch of curry paste. So let's get cracking. We're using lots of beautiful spices here, and we're going to roast some of them to help release the oils, as Stephanie was explaining earlier. We've got 3 teaspoons of coriander seeds, 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, and 1 teaspoon of white peppercorns. They're a little bit feistier than the black peppercorns, so we just need them to fry up a little, brown a little. You don't want to burn them because they go bitter, don't they, George, when you burn them? So we're just releasing all those lovely oils. So that's on a medium heat. George, if you can look after them, that would be great.
No problem.
Now, we're using dried red chillies, and I'm using the big ones because they're easy to remove the seeds. I know you guys don't like really spicy. Hopefully you will one day, so you don't miss out on some good Thai food. But I've removed the seeds out of the middle of these chillies, and I'm just going to pop them into some warm water, and that will help to soften them, and they'll blitz into the blender when I blend all of these spices together. So we just want to soften them a little. How are they going?
Yeah, I think they're done.
So we just grind them in the mortar and the pestle. Grind, bang, bang, grind. Bang and grind till they're fairly fine. That looks great, George. We're almost done. This is how simple it is. Using Mum's stand-up blender, we basically pop all of the ingredients in. Garlic, so we'll just roughly chop that. It's about 2 cloves. It's 1 whole stick of lemongrass. Do any of you guys grow lemongrass at home?
School, yes.
Oh,
Fantastic. Ginger. That's about a tablespoon of ginger, about a tablespoon of galangal, 1 Asian shallot or eschalot, some red chilli, which will add to the spice factor and the colour. I might just pop 1 in. We're going to use a pinch of mace. Mace is the outer layer of the nutmeg. You don't need a lot of this stuff, just a little pinch. Do you ever cook with mace, George?
No. Can I smell it?
It's gorgeous.
It's a
Yeah,
little
we'll
bit-
hand it around, hand it around.
It's very much like nutmeg, yeah?
Yeah, it is. Paprika, which we're using for colouring. So that's 3 teaspoons of paprika, and that's a nice Hungarian paprika. Would you like to have a smell of this dried shrimp paste and tell me what you think?
It smells like fish food.
Fish food. Well, it is actually dried fermented shrimp, but it goes really well in this dish, I promise. So we've got 2 teaspoons of dried shrimp paste and our spices that Georgie so kindly ground. In she goes. Then to get this all going, we're going to add some oil, about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And some of my favourite fresh herb, coriander. We're not actually going to use the leaves in the paste, we're just going to use the roots. These have been thoroughly washed. You have to make sure you wash the roots really well. So we're using about 4 to 5 coriander roots. Straight in they go. The roots have a really kind of earthy, aromatic flavour. So we just blitz that up. That little push around. See the lovely red colour? Do you know the difference between a red curry, a green curry and a yellow curry?
The colours.
The colours, exactly. In a red curry, you use red chillies. In a green curry, you use green chillies, but you also green it up with lots of fresh basil and coriander at the end. And in a yellow curry, you use lots of fresh turmeric. At this point, George, our chillies should be soft enough, so if you can just chop them a little for me, and I might just use a little bit of that chilli water into my paste to help loosen it so the blender will mix it to a smooth paste.
What consistency does the paste need to be?
I like it to be a fairly fine, smooth paste.
Straight into the blender?
That would be great. Thanks, George. Great, so that's done. George, can I get you to
take
pop
that
that
out.
into the bowl for me? Fantastic.
Smells wonderful. This is something that I never do, you know, because I'm just so afraid of it. But it looks so easy.
The fantastic thing about making your own curry paste is we'll only use a tablespoon or 2 in this recipe, but you can freeze the rest. You can put it in little ice block cubes, or it would last in the fridge for about 2 weeks. Onto the duck. We're going to seal the duck and then finish it off in the oven. The reason why I'm sealing the duck off now is I want to fry off my curry paste. And it's a really nice idea if you're making a duck curry to utilise that duck and fry off the paste in the duck fat because it gives it a much nicer flavour. I'm just going to make some very small incisions in the top of the duck skin, and that will help to release the fat out into the pan.
Could you use other meats for this curry?
Oh, yeah, certainly. It's beautiful. Thai red curry of beef, chicken, fish. One of my favourite vegetable combinations with the Thai red curry is pumpkin. It just lends itself so beautifully because pumpkin is quite sweet, and sweet things go nicely with spicy things. Okay, so we'll just pop a tiny little bit of oil in that pan just to get the duck started. Georgie, do you want to give that a good season?
I'd love to.
So as you can see, this would be a very simple dish if you already had your curry paste made.
Into the
So
pan.
skin side down.
Is that just pepper or pepper and salt?
When you see season your meat in a recipe book, it usually means pepper and salt.
Yeah, thank you.
How long will that take?
That should take probably about 4 minutes on that side. We're just going to render the fat down a little bit out of that duck, seal it, turn it over for a moment, and then finish it off in the oven.
What's next, Anna?
Well, once this is sealed and out of there, we're going to fry off the paste, but I could get you onto my little cucumber salsa.
Yeah, love to.
And I like to use palm sugar. Have you guys ever tried palm sugar? Do you want to come forward and try a little bit? Tastes more like caramel. There's light palm sugar, dark palm sugar. They're all fantastic. Do you want to have a little taste?
Yeah, caramelly, a tiny
It is, isn't it?
Like it's got a slight chip. Just gonna taste it. I tasted this before.
All right, guys. Quite simply, I'm just going to top and tail these cucumber. And because I'm loving the sound of Anna's dish, I'm going to cut them in a really special way. A lot of people use spoons to scrape out the cucumber, which you can, but I find it bruises the flesh. And I just cut the cucumber on an angle so we get this beautiful shape.
I think it's time to check the duck. Oh, that's looking lovely and crispy. So basically we just turn that over for another 2 minutes and then we'll pop it on that pan.
Right, Anna?
Yes.
What else goes in with this cucumber salad? These?
Finely sliced shallots.
Yep.
And then I need to make a dressing out of lime juice, fish sauce, fresh coriander with palm sugar.
2 tablespoons of palm sugar.
You probably won't need that much.
No.
Maybe start with half and we'll taste and adjust. I make my dressing and then I taste it and I adjust
Lime
it
juice?
accordingly. Lime juice, beautiful. The flavours you're looking for when you're cooking Thai food are salty, sweet and sour.
How much lime juice?
I think do the whole thing, that'd be great. And this duck is looking great, so we'll pull that out. And as you can see, we have all this beautiful duck fat to fry off our red curry paste in. And to make the curry sauce, we're using 1 heaped tablespoon of red curry paste. Maybe 1.5. Now we're just frying this off
Smells
in the
delicious.
oil. It's really important to fry it off because we did use that dried shrimp paste, which hasn't been cooked properly. And it also helps to bring all of the flavours together. It does smell delicious,
Sweet
doesn't
and
it?
salty. And...
I'm just going to add 400 mils, which is 1 can of coconut milk. Now, you can use coconut cream if you like, but I like the coconut milk because it's a little fresher.
Could you use normal cream and normal milk, or should it be coconut?
Do you know, you could use normal cream. It wouldn't taste as authentic. The beautiful coconut flavour works really well with the spices. Coconut milk's in, some kaffir lime leaves, lime juice. If you could squeeze in about 1 and then we'll have a taste.
Look at my guns.
Look at you go.
Strong
I know, it's good exercise and it could work out working in the kitchen. A little bit of fish sauce for the salty factor. That's probably about a teaspoon of fish sauce, but you really need to taste. You're looking for those lovely balances of salty, sweet and sour. So we've got the sour from the lime, the salt from the fish, and we're going to add the sweet from the lychees.
So refreshing.
It's really getting there, isn't it? And then finally, 150 grams of lychees.
Did you take the seeds out of the lychees?
They come de-seeded in the pan, but if you use fresh ones, yes, you'll have to remove the seeds. The sauce is reducing nicely. Georgie's finishing the salsa. The duck's going into the oven for about 5 minutes, and then we'll plate up.
Fantastic. So we've got some palm sugar in here with the lime juice, and it's just dissolving. And we're just going to shred some of this coriander up really gently. We don't want to bruise the coriander. It's got so much beautiful flavour. And then some fish sauce. And that's going to add some saltiness, yeah?
Certainly. So we've got the sugar, the salt and the lime.
Let's have a taste, Anna, and tell me what you think.
Such a simple little dressing, but a beautiful Thai style. Yes.
Do you have to use coriander or can you use different herbs?
You could use Thai basil. Thai basil would be beautiful. Are you not a fan of coriander?
Yeah, I like it.
Some people don't like coriander. I don't understand why. They call me coriander. It's my favourite herb. That's gorgeous, George.
Lovely. And just tip that over the top.
Tip that straight over the top. Give that a little mix.
Can I taste?
Yeah. That's great, Georgie. So my sauce is reduced down beautifully. The duck's been in the oven, finishing off for 5 minutes. So we'll just take that out of the oven. Oh yes, that's beautifully cooked. So we'll just pop that here for a moment to rest while we prepare our plate. We'll just put the salsa there, and then one generous scoop of jasmine rice, a little sprinkle of my favourite crispy fried shallots, some fresh coriander. And now for that gorgeous red curry sauce, 3 little lychees. You can actually smell the kaffir lime leaves and the lemongrass. So the duck's been resting, very important to let it rest. And then we're just going to slice that on the diagonal. It's beautiful and pink. So we actually haven't covered the duck in the sauce because we don't want the sauce to overpower the beautiful sweet flavours of the duck. And then we've just got a little lime cheek here to finish it off. So there you have it, kids. Thai red curry of duck with lychees and a cucumber salsa.
Wow.
Mimi, Cameron and Evan, why don't you come up and have a little taste?
Here you go, guys. Tuck in. Don't be scared.
Go for it.
Yeah, how about I help you out here? Huh?
Yeah, good idea.
How about I help you out? Get in there, my darling, Mimi.
How are you finding the spiciness?
Good?
Yeah, just nod, just got a mouthful. What do you think, Evan? Do you like it?
Yes, I do.
You're a fan? What about you, Karen?
I really like it.
Yeah?
Do you think you'd make that at home for your family?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good on you.
My favourite's the duck.
Thank you very much. You can go back to your seats. So here are a few top tips for you. When you're making your own curry paste, always use whole spices because they're much fresher. Number 2, make sure you score the skin on your duck and fry it skin side down first to render it down so you can use the duck fat to fry the curry paste in. And number 3, to keep your salsa nice and fresh, always dress it just before serving. Guys, remember, you've got to be adventurous with cooking food. Make sure you try lots of different dishes from lots of different countries and you'll have a lot of fun in doing so and make a lot of people happy.
It's time to roll up our sleeves and do a little bit more cooking. Are you guys ready to cook again?
Yes!
That's it. We're going to have some fun now. What we're going to make is 3 flavours of granita. Orange blossom, canotto and lime leaf. And then the final one that we're going to make is raspberry. Now, hands up if anyone knows what a granita is.
Like a snow cone.
Like a snow cone, yeah. It's like flavoured ice with whatever flavours you want. A really delicious summertime little snack. Anna, why don't you go out and help the kids?
I'd love to. Here I come,
Kick
kids.
this one off. Right, guys, first step. We need 350 mils of fresh orange juice. So oranges in half and get squeezing.
When you're squeezing an orange, if you cut it this way, you have that nice little centre point to place on the tip of your juicer.
We're going to get some energy into this one, OK?
Gee, they're juicy, aren't they? Look how much juice you've already got there.
Go and get your muscles into it.
Oh, look, you've only got 50 mils to go, so you're probably there now. Perfect.
And we're going to pop that into your pot. So 350 mils of juice goes in and zest of 1 orange. It's natural oils and it's going to add a different type of orangeness to this granita. Next step, guys, 50 grams of sugar needs to go into the orange juice. Then 150 mils of water. Into the pot that goes. A tablespoon of lemon juice. So, guys, the next step is to put in some orange blossom. Just a couple of drops into your pot. Next step is to put it on to heat. We want to infuse all of these flavours and, of course, dissolve the sugar. The next granita is a canotto and kaffir lime leaf granita. And what that's going to end up tasting like is cola. So we take 200 mils of canotto and we pour that into the pot. You could use normal cola if you like. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, a tablespoon of lemon juice, 50 grams of sugar, 3 kaffir lime leaves. And kaffir lime leaves come from a kaffir lime tree. Very intense flavour, and that's why we're using them. And then 100 mils of water. And we're going to bring that up to the boil. On to our third and final granita. Are you ready, Chef Anna?
Yes, we are.
200 mils of water go into the pot. And our final granita is, of course, one of my favourites. That's raspberry granita.
Yum.
We add 70 grams of sugar. And then finally, 120 grams of fresh raspberries. And then a tablespoon of lemon juice. And you're probably wondering why we've added lemon juice in each of the granitas. But that will just give it a little bit of a savouriness and a little bit of zip and zing. And then we just pop that on to boil, and that will be ready to go as soon as. Now, guys, as you can see, the orange granita has come up to the boil. It just needs to be basically warmed up. You don't need to boil it, because when you boil it, you remove all that natural flavour.
So once they actually come to the boil, you just turn them off.
And we just tip that into the tray. You just need to use a deep tray that you're able to scrape after. Just a little word of warning, you're dealing with hot liquids. So I want you to be really careful. And if you need a hand, put your hand up, all right?
Yeah, all of it in the tray, perfect.
Now, guys, with our canoto and kaffir lime leaf, once that comes up to the boil, we can strain that through a sieve into the tray.
Lovely.
Okay. You need to give them dose of the sugar.
That's good, guys. Work together in teams and help each other if you need to strain it. Our raspberry granita has just warmed up. The next step is to blend our raspberry granita. So we just pour this into this blending canister. Just be very careful. We just pour that through the sieve into our tray. And we just tap that through, and what we end up with is all the seed in the sieve and a beautiful, clear and pureed raspberry granita mix. Now we've got the base to all three granitas, our orange blossom, our canoto and kaffir lime, and our raspberry.
Why don't you have a little taste right now and just see what you think? Do you like that?
Yeah.
When it's colder too, it'll be even nicer.
Can you make any other flavour than just these?
Yeah, you can make loads of flavours with granita. You can have so much fun with it. Just think about simple lemonade, fresh lemon juice, you know, a little bit of sweetness, some water, and you can make a really delicious one. A cherry granita, a vanilla granita, a cinnamon granita, a chocolate granita if you really want. You infuse cocoa powder into water and sugar, and then you granita that. It's absolutely yummy.
Okay.
My favourite one's definitely the raspberry one. And I like them the same, for definite.
Fantastic colours, aren't they?
Delicious as well.
Next step is we need to blast chill these. Now, we're lucky. We've got a blast chiller here in the MasterChef kitchen, but at home, you can make it, just pop it into the freezer. It might take an hour to an hour and a half for it to set, okay? And these go into the freezer, and in about 10 to 15 minutes, we're gonna have granita to eat. Our granitas have been in the blast freezer for about 20 minutes. So to granita them up, we need a fork, and we just run the fork through the frozen mixture, and what we end up with is this beautiful shaved ice. Then fill up these little glasses here with each flavour. Great to see you're all working together. Look at the colours, they're amazing. My favourite's the cola, the canoto and kaffir lime leaf. This is a delicious dessert to have, especially on a summer day, but even on a winter day, I think. And to garnish, we'll pop a fresh raspberry on the raspberry granita. We'll pop a little bit of fresh mint on the canoto and kaffir lime. And we'll pop some violets on the orange blossom. There you have it, guys. Our three types of granita. Our raspberry, our orange blossom, and our canoto and kaffir lime leaf.
Wow. What a beautiful looking thing that is.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Isn't it gorgeous?
Fresh ingredients, easy to make, and they look absolutely
Glorious
spectacular.
colours. Aren't they beautiful?
There's one for each of us, so ladies first.
Right, which one do you want?
I
Stephanie?
have to try this one.
Oh, great, because I was hoping for the orange one.
There you go. So I get the raspberry.
You get the raspberry.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's lovely.
Oh, that's gorgeous, the orange blossom.
Guys, you can dig into yours as well.
Wow,
Get
look
started.
at the colours.
Oh, Georgie, that's just delightful. The zest is really worked.
What could be nicer? Hot summer's night, granita on the terrace. Very lovely. Very, very.
My 3 top tips for making granita. Always put a little splash of lemon juice into your granita mixture. It will just lighten and bring your granita to life. Top tip number 2, use fruits that are in season. And my final tip, sky's the limit when it comes to granita. Make something that excites you and something that you want to experiment with. It's up to you. Well, kids, thank you so much for joining us here in Junior Masterclass. You've been fantastic students, and I hope you've got a few tips now that you can take back to Bondi Primary School. Well done, guys. Great job today.
Over the next 2 episodes,
we're now at the business end of this competition.
the top 4 finalists will be decided.
One challenge can change everything.
They'll have to cook at their absolute best
I could see that easily sitting on Gary's menu just as it is just there.
in high-stakes challenges
My hands are sort of shaking because this means so much to get into the top 4.
with a twist.
What?
Then to top it off,
This is no ordinary challenge. This is a super challenge.
the kids will take over the kitchen of a high-class restaurant
Quick, quick.
Customers are starting to walk through the door. Come on, hustle, hustle.
in the battle to make it to Australia's first
Service, please!
Junior MasterChef Finals.
There's no words to explain it. I'd love to get into the top 4.